crazy people out there, and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna talk about a topic that some persons asked me to talk about. It's a very big topic to talk about. Is how do you motivate yourself to do those videos? How do you feel so confident in front of the camera? I'm gonna tell you this in today's video. First of all, is the topic that we're gonna talk about is perfection. People are saying out there in some other videos, you've gotta be perfect and you gotta always strive for the best and look about the others and do the same and feel the courage and the perfection to do it. No, crazy people, it's not about perfection. Of course, you can have a little bit of perfection in you inside, but that's not the most important thing in this life. The most important thing is that you are perfect. That's the thing you gotta hear from yourself, is to get into your mirror and see right straight into your eyes and say, I am perfect in that way that I am, and I don't have to change myself for anything or anyone. I'm gonna do it in my own way. And that's the perfection that you have. Not the perfection of craving what others are doing, what others are starving for. No, definitely not. Because if you're starting that way, believe me guys, you will fall straighter than you actually won't. So you're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna fall, and that's not what you want. Brings me to the next is treat failure of yourself like gold. From failure or from things that haven't gone that wrong, you will learn from it. You will see what did I did wrong? Why did I didn't make it that way? What was going wrong in that situation? And you're gonna reflect about and what you're gonna say, okay, maybe that thing I should do better in the next time. Or for example, kids who are in school, they receive a bad grade and they will take a look and see, maybe I should accomplish that math thing or that German thing or whatever it is. That's one of the most important thing you gotta learn, is to treat failure or to treat when you fall like gold, like a lesson that you kinda take for your life. And that's one of the most important things that I also had to learn in my life. Because I was a person, especially when I was in school, I was a person that I wanted to succeed. I wanted to succeed so much that every time that I have a failure or didn't have a grade that I wanted, I closed myself in my room and crying. And now I know that it wasn't good for me. This was something that I shouldn't take all the failures that I have in my life, put them together and see what have gone wrong and try to do it better in the next time. And that took me so long to learn that lesson, and I'm not even joking. I'm telling you the truth. It took me so long to learn the lesson that I don't have to be perfect to compete with someone else who is better in school. I don't have to be the best one with the best grades, because that's not gonna bring me far away in life. And sometimes your failures isn't that bad. Sometimes your failures happens for a reason, and sometimes your failures are not failures, are things that happens in your mind. And that's one of the most difficult things to deal with, is that you think that you have done a failure, but you don't. Also, a thing that I have done a lot of times when I was in school was creative writing. If you got an idea, for example, in my case, I'm doing videos for YouTube, and there comes ideas from that, there comes ideas from that, and that friend suggests that, and that person suggests that, and everything, I will not handle it. So what did I do? I put it all on a paper. I put it down on a paper. What should I do next? What topic do I should talk about? How I'm going to put the things into an order. And that's the same thing you gotta do in your life. It don't matter if it's school. For example, school. I used to do in school a to-do list. Things that were most important, I put it on the first side, and things that can last a little bit longer, I put it on the downside. Or I came to a point where I put things that were harder to do, things that were harder to deal, at the first side. Why? Because when I got those bad things or the worst things that I have to do least they're done, I will have more time to concentrate myself on things that I'm not saying the same about tests or exams. That's not that works, because an exam, it works exactly the opposite way. You first should do the things you know, and that's so much important that when I was younger, I needed someone to slap my face because of that, because I always had the stupid idea to do things that was harder to do first, and that would brings me to a lot of stress because we're at the ending, and at the ending there comes then the things that you actually can do, and then you don't got the time, and you're losing points, you're losing time, you're losing your nerves, you're losing everything. So the most important thing, make yourself a to-do list, make yourself a list that you are up to you. The next thing is the thing that is one of the most important things, because if you don't do that, believe me guys, you're gonna freak out like I have freaked out when I was in school, and it will not help you. It is allow yourself a little bit of distraction. For example, if you're workouting, make sure you work hard, for example, those 20 minutes, and keep yourself 5 minutes for a break. 5 minutes to take a water or eat something, because people, if you exaggerate too much and you're, for example, in school, you're studying all the day and getting apart from everything, for everything that happens around you, believe me, there's one thing gonna happen. You're gonna failure. Why? Because your brain doesn't work like that. Your brain needs a break. You have to allow yourself a little bit of distraction. You got to, for example, when you're in school, you got to allow yourself, for example, you're studying for 2 hours, allow yourself a half hour to go out, take a walk, go with your dog, or watch a little bit of TV or a movie, and then go back to that. Because if you're not doing this, believe me, your brain will failure, and you will have more problems than you had before, because your brain will not observe the things that you are learning now, and your brain has a capacity of mind, so he will not learn everything. He will learn pieces of it, and he will not get in a construction. Allow yourself a little bit of distraction, and believe me, your grades or your workouts or everything you do in life will be better. One of the things that coming next is the thing that I love to do, and it's so important in life, especially younger kids, and I've told that, I think, in my second video that I talk about it. If you haven't watched my video, make sure you go and watch it. It's so important for me, and to leave a subscribe and a like and all those things. I'm gonna talk about it later, but sure, you have to do it. Is the next thing reading. Why does reading is so important? For example, kids in school, if you don't read, if you don't search for what you're learning, what are you learning for, you're kind of get your mind to work, and your mind is thinking, oh, that's how it works and that's how it does. For example, even workouts, I'm talking about workouts now, and exercising and stuff like that. You have to know, why do you do those muscle things, or why do you today gonna do leg day or chest day or everything, you know? You have to learn about it. You have to learn about your body, for example, or people in school. You have to learn about what it is. And for example, me, everywhere you find me, you will find a book nearby. Why? Because I love reading, and you will get the love for reading when you get older, but you will find the love for reading. I was a kid who was like, does this book has any picture of for me? But that changed in the years, and I'm so proud. And the last thing, but not the least, and not the more important thing, is keep your eyes on your idols. I'm saying idolize your idols, you know, see what they have done to achieve their accomplishment. My idol, for example, is Selena Gomez, and she's always struggling with some really tough things, dealing with some tough things to deal, and she find always a way to get to her fans, or especially the persons who follows her, and say, people, look at me, I'm not perfect, I'm starving with things, I'm dealing with things, and I'm doing things. So that's the most important thing you gotta heard from your idol. Look up to your idol and see what has he done to achieve, or who says you can't pre-credential, who says you can't be the best. And that's one of her songs, actually. That's the song Who Says from her, and it's so important for me, that song, because who told me that I'm not gonna do it on YouTube? Who told me that I'm gonna do it in my life? Who told me that? Nobody. And everyone who's pointing a finger to you are pointing three to themselves. You have to accept yourself, and it's good to have an idol like I have. I looked up to Selena and see, okay, she is doing that work, she achieving that, and she is accomplishing that for accomplishing everything she wants to accomplish. But I'm still looking to myself and say, okay, maybe she had done this, but maybe I can't do this. I'm doing it in another way, and that's the most important thing you gotta learn, and that's the most motivational thing that you've gonna learn for your life, is to maintain, to keep yourself, maintain to reflect about your life, reflect about things that you can do best, and even the things you cannot do best, and transform it to a thing that you can do best. And that is the end of this video. Welcome to the end of this video, crazy people out there. I hope you guys can relate to my motivational tips and my things that I do in life to succeed, or to put a project going on. And what I need for that is a subscription, people. I'm not joking. I know I'm saying this every video, but it's so important. Right there, right here on this place here, there's a red button where you're gonna click on it and leave a subscription, so you're not gonna lose any video of mine, and you will see all the videos and will see all the tips that I have to give. And make sure you leave a like if you like this video, or a dislike. Leave a comment on the comment section below of things that I should talk about it next, and I will certainly read it, and you will receive a response from me. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. We'll see each other the next day. Au revoir.
Want a girl like me, I'm too crazy. For every other girl you meet is too gazy. I'm sure them other girls were nice enough, but you need someone to